All right, everybody. It's Kelly Williams with the Kelly Williams Show and Your Home TV. And I am live right now with the amazing, gorgeous Patricia Kara. Hey!
Oh, you're too
Yay!
kind. Woo,
I'm
Kelly.
excited.
So excited to be here with you.
I'm so excited. So,
Woo.
Patricia is a former Deal or No Deal model and the author of her new book, amazing new book, actually.
Oh, thank
Dream
you.
on, now deliver. And I'm going to tell you something. We're going to be talking about this book. You need to get this. Everybody does. So we're going to be right back with Patricia and her amazing story and have so much fun right after this commercial break.
Unwind by the water at South Shore Harbor Resort, the premier waterfront getaway located just south of Houston. We are the ultimate getaway with a range of activities for all ages. Soak up the sun by our refreshing pool or spend a day on the water. Pamper yourself at the relaxing spa and savor delicious cuisine at our on-site restaurants. Book your stay now and enjoy a rejuvenating vacation experience. South Shore Harbor Resort and Conference Center. It's time to enjoy.
All right, we're back. Woo! I'm so excited because we are right here with the gorgeous, amazing Patricia Kara. She is a former Deal or No Deal model. Okay, really, how cool is that? And she's written several books. Her newest book is Dream On, Now Deliver. And this is something that literally everybody needs to get. Doesn't matter what business you're in. But we're going to talk a couple of things. We're going to find out a little bit more about her right now. Where are you from?
I am from Chicago originally. Grew up, born and raised in Chicago. Yeah. My
I
family's
love
from
that.
Greece.
I know. Yeah, that's very cool. Do you get to go there a lot?
Yes, I do. Often, very, very often. I still have family back there, so we go back and forth quite a bit. I love going back home.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's really amazing. Okay, so I want to ask you, when did you know that you really wanted to get into the entertainment industry? What age were you?
I was really little. I was really about 4 years old where I thought I wanted to be a singer and a dancer.
I love
Can't
that.
sing to save my life, but I was able to dance, and I actually went to Columbia College in Chicago where I was a dance and theater major, and I did backup dancing for bands, and
Wow.
I taught kids how to dance. So it just from there, I started figuring things out and started on my path.
I love that. Okay, so many people want to know, how did you get to audition to be on Deal or No Deal?
That was through an agency where I got a call. They thought it was a co-hosting position, and I was like, great. So went to the audition. Turned out not to be. I didn't know what it was. They just said it was a game show. Didn't tell us who the host was.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a model's reality show, to be honest with you. So I thought, I don't know if I really want to be here. I'm not sure, but I stuck it out. And it was the best decision I ever made. Got a call back where you get invited back to audition to get to the next round. And lo and behold, Deal or No Deal came. And then we just kept adding, they kept adding shows because it was so successful that it turned into 4 years of my life, 4 seasons.
Amazing. Well, so was your audition walking across the stage with a suitcase?
You would think, right?
Great.
You would think. No, it was actually more of a conversation. The first round was a conversation with the casting director, one-on-one. And then the callbacks were where you're in the room with 10 ladies. And the producers, the directors there, the stylists. And so there are a group of 10 people and a group of us, the models, 10 of us. And we each had to take a step forward, talk about ourselves, take a step back, and let the next person go up. And that was the process. But I heard it did change as the time went on because they consistently auditioned people for the next 4 years.
Wow.
It was a continuous thing. In case somebody was out, they would put somebody else in. So it was an ongoing process.
Amazing. So once you were a veteran, was it kind of unless something bizarre happened, where your body shape changed dramatically or something, and they knew you and you fit in your clothes, did y'all all have to re-audition every year?
I only re-auditioned for the reboot years
Okay.
later.
Yeah.
That was the only, but as far as the other shows go, no. And there was no change. They didn't have a criteria of you need to be a certain weight, you need to be, we can
Yeah.
only have you fit in these dresses. We had an amazing stylist
I love
who we had fittings. I can't even remember, maybe 5 fittings leading up to each show where we would get dressed and fitted. The dress was fitted to us, which
Oh,
was
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
our stylist was great.
Yeah.
Dina, shout out to Dina. She was
Yeah.
amazing, and she knew what she was doing and cranked them out. I mean, she hustled, got it all done, and it looked amazing.
It was I'd love that's one of my favorite shows ever. And I always
Love
love
to
to see
hear
what
that.
y'all were gonna have on. You know, that was always a real fun part. Everybody, I think, always go, okay, what are they wearing? You know,
They were beautiful gowns, beautiful
amazing,
dresses, gowns that were
amazing.
cut to again
Yeah,
fit everybody.
yeah. I love it. Were y'all all about the same height? Or did
No,
they change the shoe heels to make y'all more? Because y'all all kind of it looked very proportionate. And I always
uh,
wondered about that.
so with each row, the shorter girls were on the first level, second level. So
Oh
as
my
the
gosh.
taller people were
Yeah.
higher up. So the back
Very
row, they were the
smart.
tallest girls, probably
Yeah.
like 5'10", 5'11",
Wow.
5'9".
And you couldn't
Yeah.
tell that.
No, it
Yeah.
looked so great. They knew what they were doing, and it worked. It worked.
I love that. Okay, so what do you think, just really quickly before we move on to
Yeah.
something else, what do you think the hardest part about that job was?
Um, to me, I would say the hardest part, because everything was so exciting and amazing. The only hard part that I can think of is when you're in heels for 18-hour days,
Yeah.
20-hour days. That's a long day to be in heels, and it hurts. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but other than that, to me, it was. I enjoyed the process. I thought it was so much fun, and I love interacting with Howie, the other ladies, the contestants. So there wasn't much that was hard about it. It was a lot of fun and
Yeah.
excitement. So
That
it was great.
I mean, to me, that was would have been one of the most fun jobs ever to
I
be on
loved
that
it.
show and do that. I just love that for you. That was so exciting.
Thank you.
Really quickly, we're going to say there's people saying good morning. Good morning,
Good
Shelly.
morning.
Hi. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, I
Alex
love it.
Che. Hi.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
And
Hi.
April catching you live. Great,
Woo!
great. Yes, deal or no deal. Yes, thank you all for watching. Okay. The
Get down to
new
business.
we're getting down to business, but one more question because the new
Yeah,
deal
of
or no deal
course.
island.
Yes.
So how crazy is that? Are they gonna have models in bikinis with suitcases?
I don't think so. So I was asked to actually be one of the contestants, and
What?
I was strongly considering it, but going through the process, I opted not to continue and follow through with
Yeah.
it. It's definitely so different being a contestant versus being one of the models, and so
Yeah.
I ended up. But I was going through the motions. I was in the finals to get to the next steps, and yeah, so
Oh
it
my
didn't end up. But I'm bummed because I've been on every version of Deal, so I'm super
yeah.
bummed not to be part of it. But at the same time, I'm excited for the newness, the change.
Yeah.
Joe
That was
Manganiello is a great host, and
yeah. Amazing. I mean, that was a really cool little spin they put on it.
I mean, it's got that amazing race survivor thing. I don't know if
Yeah.
I could have made it through. I don't know.
I don't know.
Would have
You
been
look like you're in
interesting.
really good shape. I think you could have done it.
Yeah.
Well, hello. My little sister is on watching. Hi. Welcome,
Hi.
welcome, welcome.
Hi, sis.
And Junior. Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, everybody was so excited about this show today to meet you. Okay, so
Thank you.
you you are a businesswoman, and you have done a really good job, I think, looking you up, reading your book. You've done a very, very good job, which a lot of people are not able to do, or they don't really have the heart to do, or they don't know how to do it. But you have taken all your knowledge and all of your experience and everything that you know that you'll be doing in the future, and you have kind of wrapped it all into one thing on your kind of your brand, and you're really doing a great job of helping so many people. And it's really incredible.
Thank
You
you.
told me when you started in this business of the entertainment business, one of the people you looked up to was Kathy Ireland.
Yes.
Um, love her, of course.
Yes.
Amazing. Tell me why was she kind of one of those people that you really looked up to?
She was one of the models when I was growing up that I look up to. I would see her in magazines. I would hear her speak. And I was just in awe of her and Christy Turlington, really. And
Yes.
what I love about Kathy Ireland is she became a businesswoman. It
Yeah.
wasn't just, okay, I'm modeling and that's it. It was, she went beyond. She grew an empire, which was amazing to watch her. And I follow her on Twitter,
Yeah.
and I'm always watching what she does. And funny enough, she was on my list of somebody I wanted to contact to send my book to, because I would
Oh my
love to hear what
gosh.
she has to say or what she thinks about the book. So just being who she is, I again, watching her career flourish and who she is she turned it from this to all of that.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
yeah, I loved watching her grow along the way and where she's at all these years later. She was just
Yeah.
one of the first people I looked up to.
Yeah. I love that because she's just one of the most down to earth,
Yes.
hardworking people. I mean, she's, and just is very appreciative and grateful for everything
Yeah.
because she's worked hard for it, which I love.
And I don't know her, but just seeing her in interviews and listening to her talk every
Yes.
time, that's what I get about her. She's so grounded. She's so smart. It wasn't just about the look. It was,
Yeah.
she's a smart woman and she knows what she's doing. And that's how she
Absolutely.
grew everything.
Yeah. Well, you are a lot like that. So
Well, thank you.
you're
That's a
very
huge compliment. So thank
you're
you.
very amazing. And this is my other sister who just tuned in and is watching. Good morning.
Good
Yes,
morning, everybody.
I know. And April said she's excited for the next generation of Deal or No Deal. It's really going to be fun to kind of watch how this all goes.
I'm so curious. I watched it the other night, waiting for next week's episode. I want to see everything. And Claudia Jordan is one of the original models, and she's on this version. So I
Oh,
can't wait to see
what?
I think she's perfect for this show. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
that's
interesting.
Exciting. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Okay, so I have to ask you, guys, we are talking about Dream On, Now Deliver, and this is backwards on
Ooh.
here, but amazing. There we go. Really incredible. I couldn't stop reading it. Patricia, was it always in the back of your mind that you really thought about writing books? Was that something you thought about?
It didn't come into play till my late 20s, really.
Yeah.
I started in Chicago, lived and worked internationally, went to Florida, went to New York. And when I got to LA, there was this group of people in entertainment and other industries where we all used to hang out and just talk about things.
Yeah.
And somebody planted the seed. They're like, you know what you really should do because you have so much knowledge of the business is you should write a book. And I was like, no. But over time, I realized I would always help others. They would ask me, how do you get started? Where do you go? And I noticed it was such a natural thing for me to help others that I started really strongly considering it. This was back, we're talking 25 years ago. So
wow.
For me to do this all these years later, it's a dream come true because at one point during the height of Deal or No Deal, I had more people coming to me. And in 2008, I thought of this title, and it's the acronym of Deal or No Deal is Dream On Now Deliver.
I love it.
I was like, one day I'm going to use this title for my book. And I just had that in my head since like 2007, 2008.
I love it.
Here we are, finally.
I know. It's so awesome. Well, and what I love about this book, you have a glossary.
Yes,
on
that's
a lot of
necessary.
terms and things. Really amazing. And what a huge blessing for people who may be just getting into it or have been in it, but really weren't sure about all these little, terms everybody uses. So good. I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, we are going to be right back with more with Patricia Kara. about her new book. We're going to delve into so many interesting
Ooh.
things which she has in this book. I cannot wait. But we're going to be right back after this commercial break.
You guys?
Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events wants you to come party with us. We're bringing the fun to the Houston Bay Area. Stay tuned for all of our incredible events throughout the year, featuring amazing food and drinks, live entertainment, special guests, and so much more. Fun, new, different. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events is where you want to be. So come party with us. It's more than a yacht. It's serendipity.
All right. We are back with Patricia Kara. I'm so excited because, I was really excited about this interview with you. I love your book.
Likewise.
I love it. And the thing is I was talking to my husband and I said, I can't stop reading this book. And he said, well, how is it? And I go, it's informative and it's personal. And it's just this really great book that every single person that I know that is modeling in pageants or doing commercials or anything, they all need to read this. This is a priceless little thing you got right here.
Thank you. Thank
Really
you so much. I
amazing.
appreciate you saying that. I really do. I really hope it helps a lot of people.
I think
whether it's personally and professionally, I think
Yes.
there are tidbits in there for a little bit of everything. You can apply it to other things too.
Absolutely. What I love in this, you put one of your quotes is, if you want to be in the entertainment business, be in the entertainment business. Take the work that comes your way. It's so true. I think people overthink
Yes.
about things, and I love that.
And I think some people, especially when they're starting out, they want to go from A to Z.
Yes.
And you can't do that. You
Yeah.
have to learn along the way. Like, think about the glossary that I did, those terms. You learn those while you're on sets, while you're auditioning, you're talking to other models, actors, hosts. When you're on set, all those things you start learning. You have to absorb and be aware and really listen. And that's how I did it. I mean, I didn't go to school for this. It's something I learned along the way. So you have to be in it and take those jobs, even the ones that you're like, I don't want to be a background actor. I don't want to be, those little jobs build things up. They take you up that ladder. Pageants. I did pageants. I mean, I learned a lot from those pageants, and I talk about that in the book. So I think everything counts. Everything leads you to where you need to go. It's just up to you.
Agree. I completely agree. And I loved that. One thing that you start off saying is treat it always as a business, not all glitz and glam and not a hobby. It's something you really have to be serious about if you want to do these things. I love that because I completely agree that it has to become a business for you, and you do those things needed to be successful in that business. Why do you think that's so important that you tell people to treat it as a business?
If you want longevity, you have to look at it beyond the glitz and glamour. Yes, those moments come to play at some point during your career if you're still in it, but you need longevity. And a lot of people do treat it as a hobby and think, oh, I'm going to make some extra money. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication, determination, drive, and a lot of rejection. You don't book everything right off the bat. You get rejected a lot, and you have to just keep going. It's a process. Again, you step up those, go up that ladder.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to ask you a real quick question, because you talk a little bit about social media and how things are now in these days. Do you think, how do you think social media has benefited the industry or is not been good for the industry?
I think it's good and bad. I think there's always plus and minuses. Having social media and having that instant PR for companies, I think for companies that hire you, it's great if you have a big following. It works for them as much as it's working for you. But it's also changed in a sense that you might lose opportunities if you don't have enough followers or
Yeah.
not being on certain. I have friends that don't do social media at all and they're in the business and whatever works for you. But I realize when you go to an audition, they ask you, what platforms are you on and what's your
Wow.
following? And it's not just about talent anymore. It's
Yeah.
talent and social media following. And
Yeah.
it's a big game changer. So
That's
it's
crazy.
hard and you need to embrace it if you
Yeah.
can. I've said I'm going to master it. I have not, but I'm trying. And that's all you can do is try and
Yeah.
continue to go forward. If this is what you want, you figure it out and you make it work for yourself. And you can't look at somebody else and think, I want to do that, be that. You could look at it, but you can't, the same steps aren't going to work. You have to do you. You have to personalize what, like I'm giving you all this advice. Well,
Yeah.
take that, but then take what you're going through and put it together.
Absolutely.
Make it your own.
That's right. And speaking of going back to rejection, because that's a big deal. And if in our lives, if you meet any really successful person, they've had rejection and failure are two of the building blocks that they've used to get where they are. And this is what I want. I love that you really delve into this in your book, because this is so important for people reading this book and in that industry or in anything, really.
Anything.
To do. I'm going to quote you again. You said, we all have something unique to offer, and there are enough jobs to go around. This is what I think people forget. It causes anxiety because they think I'm not getting, what are your thoughts on that? What do you tell people about the rejection thing a little bit more, especially in the entertainment industry?
There's no way around it. You're going to deal with rejection day in and day out. You go to auditions, even when you get the job, there's some sort of rejection. In your everyday life, there's rejection. It's how you frame it, and you need to get into a certain mindset. You need to get used to the fact that, okay, you're going to get rejected, but it may have nothing to do with you. You may not get that job because there were other reasons. You didn't quite fit their look. That doesn't mean that they won't look at you for something else down the road. And that, I have to tell you, that's happened for me many times where I've had meetings with agents that were like, no, sorry, it's just, we're not interested. We're down the road. We ended up working together. Timing plays a role. And so you have to remember to not take rejection personally. It may or may not have anything to do with you. So get out of your head. And my big thing is just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward, and eventually everything falls into place. You need that momentum. And trusting your instincts is another big factor that I always talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you go into how, networking. If people aren't familiar with it and they go, I hear about networking, or if they're involved with networking, that is a huge deal, because meeting people, and one thing that you said, even if you're rejected and things that because your look wasn't what they wanted for that part, because you also said, which people forget, they already have an idea in their mind. When they're casting or when they're doing things for clients, sometimes they have a specific that they're already looking for. But being kind and making sure you're keeping that positive attitude and meeting all of these people, because they're going to remember your kindness, and they'll remember when you're ugly and snobby too.
Oh, yes.
And they'll want to work with a kind person.
And I remember both, and so do others. I mean, again, there's no way around that.
Yeah.
So I personally feel like kindness goes a long way. There's no reason to be mean, to steamroll over people. Just do what you want to do, as far as just think about your career, and everything will fall into place. There's no reason to step on anybody. There's no reason to be mean. It just, and I can't tell you how many times I've had people come back to me and I've gotten other work just because they've told me, you were great to work with, you were kind, you were professional, and all that comes together and people want to work with you again. And one job leads to the next job. It's word of mouth. Sometimes I don't even get things through my agents. I get it through word of mouth, because you were great to work with. That
Yeah.
makes a huge difference. And I think people forget that and get
Mhm.
into their heads a little too much.
Yeah.
So that's
I
my
love
take
that
on it.
because I loved that you made that point for people to see in writing, because you can hear people be nice, always have a positive attitude. But when you see somebody that knows what they're talking about and you're reading and you're telling them, this is very, very important in any business, but in the entertainment business, it's a huge deal because of who needs.
Absolutely.
I loved that. Um,
Thank you.
One thing that I love, you talked
Uh-oh.
about even when business starts doing great. So if people, no matter what business they're in, don't forget to take notes. I love
Always.
that because that's how you keep connections and things like that. Tell us how important that was in your career.
Always been important. I've always had a calendar book. I have the old school at a glance appointment book. I tend to like to write things more
Yes.
than digital. I can't do the
Yes.
digital,
No.
so I write everything. So not only do I have a schedule book, but then I have notes everywhere. Everywhere. If
Yeah.
you saw my desk, you would be like, "Oh my gosh, how do you keep up?" But I know where everything is. And then I also put certain things in my computer where yesterday I was making a list of all the people I've done interviews with. I was telling my girlfriend who's writing a book, I said, when it's your time, I will happily pass on that information so you can be interviewed with these people. So I've
Yeah.
always been that way because aside from what I do, I love connecting people and I've
Yeah.
always done that. I want my friends to succeed as much as I've succeeded.
Yeah.
And even people that I don't know, I will happily pass on information, happily help that person get to the next thing. So keeping those notes, names, and everything is very important.
Yeah.
And it does come back around more than you realize. I don't care if it's 10 years later. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's 15 years later. It's amazing how things go full circle.
Absolutely. How long did it take you to finish this book?
Oh, forever. So the idea was 25 years ago. Um, and in 2008 is when I started jotting notes for years. And finally, I would say um, during the pandemic, during COVID, I was home a lot more. I started writing more notes, and I was with my mom who wasn't doing well, and I was caring for her. So this really helped hone in on the book while I was with my mom.
I love that.
And so she gave me that strength I needed and that push forward that I
Yeah.
needed. I mean, I had it and I talked about it to everybody for years. I was like, I'm going to write this book. And I had all my notes, but I was
Watch
like,
me. Watch me. I'm going to do it.
and I'm not a writer. I
Yeah.
love to talk, but I'm not a writer. So trying to put that together. But I finally was like, okay, enough. And I started looking at it the way I looked at the rest of my business and getting
Yeah.
into modeling, acting, and hosting. So I took the advice I've given there and said, okay, get to it.
Yeah.
And just started building from there. And it's a process, no lie, because even once you write a book, then
Yeah.
there's the publishing part, then there's the
Yeah.
marketing. So there are a lot of steps. Again, hard work, but you get excited once it gets a little further. Once you pass the initial thing, and that voice in your head, it's amazing how doors start opening, things start happening, and you just feel happy that you're getting this thing out.
I love that. We're going to stop and I want to show you my mom just tuned in and is watching. Hey, mom.
Hi,
And,
Mom.
and April, love hearing about all your experiences, Patricia. So interesting and inspiring. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
In April, you will love the book. Everybody needs to be ordering this book. Okay. Another quote, I quoted you again because this is amazing and I love it. And it's something that I always, I try to live by. Don't limit yourself and don't listen when others limit you, but do listen with both ears when they see something more in you. And I love that. I have it written on really big notes
Do
on
you really?
paper because I
I
went,
love that.
I love that she has this. This is really, really important. Why do you think that this was an important note to put in this book for people?
because we tend to listen to the naysayers. And sometimes that naysayer is yourself, that
Yeah.
voice in your head. We start to doubt ourselves. We have those fears. I'm guilty of it too. And then you start limiting yourself. You start limiting what you can do because you're talking yourself out of things. Again, I still to this day have to remind myself, wait, what are you doing? Why are you? Once you get out of your head, and if you hear somebody who says something good, take that in and build upon that. And start feeling those good feelings and start thinking about those things that you can. I mean, you can do just about anything if you just out with the bad, in with the good. Bottom line.
Absolutely. And my sister Tracy, actually, love your take on writing, thinking about it myself for a few years now. And so it's really your information and your take on things and how you did this are really helpful for so many others. I want to ask you, Patricia, what do you think is one thing you learned about yourself while you've been in this entertainment industry?
I'm a go-getter.
Yeah.
But I'm also very grounded no matter what and who I always go back to basics. I realize that, you can be in the entertainment business and you get this high off it once certain success comes along. But I always go back to basics. I've learned that I could be anywhere, anytime, and I'm good. I'm good. Everything will be okay. I always think about that little girl who was trying to figure it all out, and I just think you did it, but there's a lot more work to do. Always, always. But just to stay grounded is the big thing I've
Yeah.
always tried to do. And sometimes, again, being in the business, it can suck you into certain things and moments. You just have to find your way back, whether it's with the help of your support system or something within yourself. And sometimes the answers that we need are within ourselves, but we're always looking outwards.
Yeah.
Again, I'm guilty of it. Over the years, I catch myself and I'm like, what are you doing? You know better. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You know better after all these years. So it's reeling yourself back in. And I keep myself in check as much as I could. If not, my husband and my family keep me in check.
Exactly. What has your husband thought about everything?
He's really chilled and laid back, and he was part of the process when Deal came along. Like he was there. So we've been together 20 years now, and so he knew me. Obviously I was in the entertainment business, but when Deal came along, we were together about a couple years. And he watched everything grow and take over, and he's been very supportive and very helpful. He was my tech guy today. Anytime I do anything, he's my tech guy. But he's always been very helpful and very supportive.
Yeah, I love that. That's so important, isn't it?
And likewise, we definitely are there for each other with each other's businesses. Definitely
that's so good.
with everything.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. If you could give somebody just one piece of advice that has been looking at getting into the entertainment industry, what would that be?
Be yourself. I feel like there's more. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. No matter what, trust your instincts. And I go back to that. It's trusting your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, if something it makes you uncomfortable, no matter what it is, it could be small, it could be big, but if it's not right for you, there might be a reason that you're feeling that or thinking that, and to trust that. That I have to say is what's gotten me through from the beginning to now, is when I don't listen to that voice, I kick myself and I say, I knew it. I knew there was something. And I hate when I have those moments. So I really, to trust yourself, I think sometimes we need to slow down and go, because we're always on the move. There's so much happening right now. We're just moving and going and going. Sometimes you need to take a step back and go, why is this happening? Why are things going this way when I want them to go that way? So it's a matter of figuring it out and just taking the time to listen, and then move forward from there.
I love that. That's very, very good advice for anybody. Okay, so right now I have a fun question for you.
Ooh, bring it
If
on.
you would look in your refrigerator right now, what would we find?
um, Luckily, my husband is so good about groceries. When he first met me, I had nail polish in the fridge. This is going back now, but luckily, and that was about it. Nail polish and maybe like Captain Morgan and I think ketchup and mustard. Yeah, I would
The
go out
important
more
thing.
than I ate. Yeah,
Yeah.
now you would find almond milk. You would find, I'm trying to think, a lot of spicy stuff, and grilled chicken too. A lot of lettuce, healthier. I definitely am on the healthier side. So lettuce, celery, tomatoes, cucumbers, all the good stuff. Creamer for my coffee. So my fridge has a lot more nowadays than when I was on my own.
I love that. I love that. Okay, guys, we have been having an amazing conversation with the incredible Patricia Kara, a former Deal or No Deal model and author of several books, but her book
Actually, one book.
now.
One book.
Oh, one book. This
I'm
is
going to
it.
write a couple more, though. I am going to
Okay,
write a
she
couple
needs me to
more.
write more. We're already publicizing it. We're already putting
I
it out
love
there.
that you did that. I love it because I do have a few in my head.
I love that too. This is the book I'm going to tell you right now, everybody needs to read. I couldn't stop reading it. And I could have had this show for about 3 hours with her to go through all of the amazing, really interesting things in
Aw,
this book.
thank you.
But everybody needs to order it. You can, it's right here on the ticker. You can order it now on Amazon. And will you autograph copies?
Absolutely, absolutely. I am setting up signings and events going to LA, New York, Chicago, Florida, maybe Boston, Baltimore. So yes, yes.
Maybe the Houston area. We can
I
have
would
you
love
down
to
here.
do that. Actually,
would
that's
be
a great
awesome.
idea. I will do this.
Okay, we're
Definitely. I would
excited
love to
'cause
meet
we're
you in
all coming to
person.
see you. Yeah,
I
I
love it.
love it. I love it. Patricia, we cannot thank you enough for spending time with us today. I know you are got such a busy schedule, but love your book. Love what you're
Thank you,
doing to
Kelly.
help people with this. It's guys, this book is not only for people looking to get in the entertainment industry or already in it, but it's a great business guide. It's great for anybody looking to be successful and having a guide with great points and information on how to do it. Because she's been there, done it, been there, done that. She's amazing and still doing it. And in this wonderful book that she has written is very helpful for everybody. I couldn't stop reading it. I'm just being really honest with you. I
Kelly,
read it
thank you so
quicker than
much.
books
I
I've read in
appreciate
a
it.
long time.
I
love it.
appreciate you saying that. It means a lot to me. And I'm so happy I finally got to meet you. I love Paul for introducing us, your husband. He's great. So thank you for taking the time to chat about my book. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And one more thing, Patricia,
Yeah.
what do you think has been the best part about getting to write this book for you?
The best part is helping others that are navigating, that have no idea, no contacts, no money, no anything. I love to help people thrive, get into the business or whatever it is that they're doing. I love that part of it and seeing where it goes for them. I love hearing people tell me like, oh, I heard what you said and I listened. And so I did this. Love those stories. So please keep them coming.
Yeah, I love it. Guys, this book deals with agents, auditions, rejection, even money and everything in between. You need this book. So it's awesome. We're so proud of you. So excited for
Kelly.
everything that's
Thank you.
coming for you. And thank you so much for being on the show.
That.
I'm so happy. I'm going to give you a virtual hug.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I can't wait to meet you in person. I'm really looking forward to that. You have great energy. I love it.
Thank you so much. We're so alike because we put exclamation points on things.
I know. You should see our emails, everybody. And it's crazy how many exclamation points we use.
I love it. I love her. I love her.
I love it. There's somebody else out there like that. I love it.
Exactly. Guys, you can watch the Kelly Williams Show anytime on your home TV. And thank you, Patricia Kara. Buy her book. And
Yes.
I hope you have an awesome and blessed rest of your day, and go do some big
Thank you,
things,
you
'cause
too.
we're all cheering you on. See you later.
Thank you. Likewise,
Thank
my friend.
you.
Likewise. Take care.